Good day everyone. This is the video presentation of the group 7. So let's start with these two questions. What is sustainable? And what is development? What is kaya no? So, sustainable means meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of the future generations to meet their own needs. It encompasses environmental, social, and economic aspects. Meanwhile, development, it is a broad term. So, as it is a broad term, it refers to the process of improving the well-being of individuals and societies. Okay, so from knowing these two questions, what do you think is our topic for today? Yes, it is sustainable development. So according to Ban Ki-moon, sustainable development, it is the pathway of the future we want for all. It all refers to the framework that generate economic growth, achieve social justice, exercise environmental stewardship, and strengthen governance. Do you think he is right? Yes or no? We will know as we dig deeper to our topic for today. So, do you know that Philippines and other countries of Asia are more exposed to the challenges of globalization, like migration, urbanization, and climate change? Do you know that? Do you not know, right? So, what do you think is the reason behind it? There are so many particular reasons, but the solely reason behind it is our geographical structure, our geographical location. We are located near at the Pacific Rings of Fire, as well as we are located near at the Pacific Ocean. That is why we are prone to climate change. So this is just a little information about our topic. This is exciting, right? You can learn so much from our topic. So stay tuned and listen well to the next report. Okay?
Environmentalism is a political, social, and scientific movement that aims to protect the environment from the harmful effects of human activity. The goal of environmentalism is to preserve, restore, and improve the natural environment. Its focus is to minimize the harmful impacts of human activities on the environment, such as global warming, air pollution, and the endangering of plant and animal species. So, for sustainability and humankind, the global need for a balanced environment. People have the desire for a sustainable future. This is where people worldwide seek comfort, avoiding overpopulation, pollution, and natural disaster. They want to live in a clean and verdant environment free from the effects of floods, hurricanes, and other calamities. However, global ecological risk persists due to human conflicts driven by personal, national interests. So, the protection of Earth's environment is not just a local concern, but a primary international security matter. The threats to environmental preservation also threatens human welfare and security. So, sustainability is universal, not discriminating against race, culture, faith, or ideology. A collective effort is essential to protect the planet and ensure long-term prosperity for all.
Roots of sustainable development. It refers to the human needs and living conditions depend on a supply of finite sources and unlimited use of resources. But living in a society, man cannot continue to do so without destabilizing the stability and the sustainability of the earth. So since you know what is sustainable development, so there are early stages of sustainable development. It was first introduced from the concept of forest management environmentalism, and conservationism. So, in the 1980, World Conservation Strategy introduced a sustainable development as a strategy for global conservation. In 1972, Stockholm Conference, first global environmental conference, emphasized shared responsibility for the environment. In the 1992 Rio Earth Summit, highlighted the connection between poverty eradication and environmental protection. These are the following economic challenges to sustainability. Rising global consumption and population are key to sustainability challenges. Developed nations such as US, Canada, and Europe drive much of the resources depletion. Extractive industry in Asia and Africa and South America continue to exploit natural resources. Sustainable development requires changing long-standing economic practices and consumption patterns. So, for us to become sustainable, so we can sustain our environment, we have to highlight the urgent need for global change, especially the climate change. Sustainable development can only be achieved if all nations alter outdated economic practices. Collaboration, innovation, and a shift to responsible resource use are essential for a sustainable future. A collective effort is needed to address the challenges of environmental degradation and overconsumption.
When we talked about sustainability, we're talking about a development model that can meet the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. It's a holistic approach that considers the social, environmental, and economic impacts of action and decisions taken today. Deforestation and desertification driven by unsustainable practices threaten this balance. Deforestation, the clearing of forest, and desertification, the transformation of fertile land into desert, erode ecosystems, contribute to climate change, and diminish the Earth's capacity to support life. As we all know today, mankind are facing very serious climate conditions. Now, why do you think or what could be the possible causes? Let's talk about where we went wrong. It was said na ang mga rich nations like ang US, Canada o European countries ang naipinaka na contribute ani na phenomena because of the continuation of producing raw materials, oil, and minerals. Pollution, the action of polluting, especially the action of making an environment unsuitable or unsafe for use by introducing man-made waste. Climate change affects the food we eat, the air we breathe, places that provide us with shelter. Human activity has been the primary drivers of biodiversity and human activity has been the primary drivers of biodiversity loss, the deforestation and desertification, which will lead to habitat destruction and habitat loss, worsening the living conditions of many species. Now let's move on to the 3 dimensions of sustainable development. The 3 pillars of sustainable development are environmental dimension, social dimension, and economic dimension. These 3 dimensions are the standards used for assessing the impact and sustainability of a company's activities. They have been divided into 3 main areas: environmental, social, and economic. The environmental dimension analyzes ecological impact such as carbon dioxide emissions, and the use of natural resources. The social dimensions considers aspects such as working conditions, human rights, and the inclusion of people. While the economic dimension, on the other hand, evaluates transparency, business ethics, and management. The adoption of elements helps promote responsible and sustainable business practices.
Now let's talk about the differences between stability and sustainability. But before we proceed to their key differences, let us first know their definition. Stability is the condition of being stable and is resistant to change. There is a tendency to recover from perturbations. Perturbation means a disturbance of motion, course, arrangement, or state in equilibrium. Stability has a short-term focus which is maintaining equilibrium and is resistance to change, the ability to withstand disruptions. Predictability is the consistency and reliability, and static state is maintaining existing conditions. And stability has a reactive approach which is responding to challenges or crises. While sustainability is the ability to sustain for a longer time and to maintain balance, it is also meeting our needs without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Sustainability has a long-term focus, ensuring continued viability and health, resilience, regenerative, dynamic state, and proactive approach. Let us bear in mind that stability and sustainability are related but distinct concepts. Their key differences are their time frame, their approaches, their focus, and adaptability. Their time frame is that stability focuses on short term while sustainability considers long-term implications. Their approaches is stability is reactive while sustainability is proactive. Stability prioritizes maintenance while sustainability emphasizes growth and regeneration. And lastly, stability provides foundation for sustainability.
So now, let us talk about mitigation and adaptation. As we all know, there are various actions made devoted to environmentalism and sustainable development that may defeat or at least delay the effect of a global catastrophe. Also, mitigation and adaptation are two complementary ways people can respond to climate change, as climate change is one of the most complex challenges people or the world faces today. So, mitigation, it measures intended to reduce and check greenhouse gas emission and attends to the causes of climate change. So it means that mitigation, it is the action to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and to limit the amount of warming our planet will experience, as well as centers on the root cause of climate change. So, for adaptation, it measures focus on reducing the risk brought by the consequences of the changes in the condition of Earth's climate. So it means that adaptation, it is the action to help people adjust to the future and current effects or impacts of climate change. So now, let us proceed to the next topic, which is the Sustainable Development Goals. So the Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, are also known as global goals. So these are 17 integrated and interrelated goals in which it aims to end poverty and protect our planet, and also ensure that the humanity will enjoy peace and prosperity by 2030. So, the leaders from United Nations member countries agreed to SDGs in 2015 as the world's new action plan. It is to eradicate extreme poverty and hunger and fight inequalities, as well as tackle about climate change and achieve sustainable development for all. Also, the SDGs follow the Millennium Development Goals, or MDGs, agreed in 2000 in a global coordinate in attempt to tackle about development issues. But the progress of the MDGs has been mixed. In the past years, for over 800 to 100 million people still live in extreme poverty, and they are also most vulnerable to the increasing impacts of climate change and environmental degradation. Also, it is often missed on what happened to the marginalized group. So now, let me introduce you to the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, and they are: Goal number 1, no poverty. It aims to eradicate extreme poverty and allow people to have an access to resources like foods, water, and other supplies. Goal number 2 is zero hunger. It ends the hunger of everyone, achieve food security, and promote sustainable agriculture. Goal number 3 is good health and well-being. It aims to improve healthcare systems and promote well-being for all at all ages. Next is goal number 4. It is quality education. It aims to provide free and accessible education for all. So, for goal number 5 is gender equality. It aims to eliminate discrimination, violence, and inequalities to any gender, as well as empower women and girls. Goal number 6 is clean water and sanitation. It aims to provide universal access to safe drinking water and sanitation facilities. For goal number 7 is affordable and clean energy. It aims to increase renewable energy use and improve energy efficiency. Next is goal number 8, decent work and economic growth. It promotes sustained, inclusive, sustainable economic growth, full employment, and decent work for all. We have goal number 9, industry, innovation, and infrastructure. It aims to develop sustainable industries and promote innovation. Also, it addressed disparities in wealth, opportunity, and access to resources. Next is sustainable cities and communities. It is to make the cities inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. For goal number 12, responsible consumption and production. It aims to minimize waste, use resources efficiently, and promote sustainable lifestyle. Goal number 13 is climate action. It aims to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and promote climate resilience. For goal number 14, life below water. Conserve and sustainably use oceans, seas, and marine resources. Next is life on land. Aims to combat deforestation, desertification, and biodiversity loss. For goal number 16 is peace, justice, and strong institutions. Aims to reduce corruption, violence, and support human rights. Lastly, goal number 17, partnerships for the goals. Aims to foster collaborations between governments, the private sectors, and civil societies to achieve the SDGs. So these Sustainable Development Goals aims to create a better and more sustainable future for all. And overall, sustainable development is the keystone to humanity's economic, social, and political survival growth. And that's all. Thank you.